Welcome to episode 10 of Verbal Graffiti with your host, Brian Glass. I was reviewing last episode and I realized I was rambling way too much in the beginning of episodes. I tend to do that when I'm on stage to feel out the audience, but we don't have an audience, so I'm going to get right into it. Before though, I'm going to ramble a bit because I guess that's what I do. I think I've worn this sweater before in an episode. I don't have a lot of clothing. It's a reason why when I go on dates, I try to have sex before the third date. Because if you go on so many dates that the babe is already seeing the clothing you've worn before multiple times, it's not going to work out. She's going to think you're a bum who records things in your bedroom. So that doesn't work out. Okay, on to the episode. Last episode, I also mentioned we might have a sponsor, and I actually pulled it through. Here it is. Verbal Graffiti is sponsored by Fiji Water, the water for the elite, the one percenters. None of us here at Verbal Graffiti are one percenters, but we strive to be, and I think most of our audience, let me know down in the comments, want to be a one percenter. So, yeah. Fiji, the most expensive water. We can't have our audience drinking tap. Tap is for the gutter people, the Ninja Turtles. We don't want that. Poland Springs used to be a great water, but then all those smelly white people moved into Colorado, and moved near the Poland Springs, and now it's all filled with weed and real estate that's way too expensive for our viewers, for people who watch Verbal Graffiti. So fuck Poland Springs. So next time you're at the store, buy Fiji water, use the promo code, what is it? B-Man. No, what was the, B-Man is a loser. Use that as a promo code and you get a 0% off. But yeah, next time you're at your local grocery store, convenience store, bodega, walk by all the other cheap waters and spend all your money on Fiji. All proceeds will go to me, which I'll reinvest into this show, and also some Derek Jeter baseball cards. Yeah, let's leave that right there. So yeah, Fiji water, beautiful. Love the people of Fiji. All right, let's get to our first one. I found this. I love this one because it really does speak to me and something I'd like to do in my lifetime. This comes from the subreddit entitled People. Of course, you need the largest table. On a recent Sunday afternoon, I met a group of 13 for coffee. The shop was about a dozen tables, a few 4-tops, scattering of 2-tops, some stools at a bar counter, plus one massive table that seats 14 to 16. Coffee shop was not busy at all. 3 tables in use. A great detail there. Very, very good details that spread out of the shop. Okay, keep it along. Naturally, the giant table was occupied by 2 young ladies with their laptops on one end. We thought maybe when they saw us arrive, they'd offer to move. Nope. One of the ladies made eye contact and rolled her eyes, then smirked while we crowded around 2 4-tops we pushed together. It was annoying to begin with, but she made it obvious with her facial expressions and body language that she relished depriving us of the group table. We stayed for 2 hours, and they were still there as we left. I find most people are kind and thoughtful, but a few just have to be jerks. You're in the wrong. You're totally in the wrong. There is a reason why when you go to a coffee shop, cafe, that there's always small tables for 2 or 4 or 1 at the bar top, is because that's the party size you're supposed to go to a coffee shop with. See, what you and your girlfriend should have done is gone to one of those restaurants that has brunch with bottomless mimosas, because they have the logistics, the staff, the waiters, the drink specials that can acquiesce your group size. They don't have that at a coffee shop. What you don't realize is you're so self-absorbed in your world that you went into this coffee shop thinking those 2 babes were ruining your outing, when in reality, your baker's dozen was ruining the shop for everybody else. I have this coffee shop I go to in Chester, Connecticut. I'm a weird person in that I like to drink coffee after I run. It gives me a caffeine burst and it rejuvenates me. The B man likes to be rejuvenated. And sometimes I'll go there on a Saturday morning. And if you drink coffee on Saturday mornings, you notice you go into a coffee shop, you want it to be serene, people reading books, you kind of calm down. Maybe you're eyeing the two people playing chess in the corner and judging their movements and how terrible they are. That's what I do, even though I'm a shitty chess player myself. But then you'll have that thing where the bicycle cyclist group will come in and they're wearing their tight spandex with those biker shoes where they're clink, clank, clink, clank, and they're all smelly and stinky and they're loud and they have their helmets on and there'll be like 10 of them and they're loud and obnoxious. And when it's cold out, they don't eat outside, they'll stay inside. And it just ruins the entire vibe. And that's what this reminds me of here. You and your crowd ruined the vibe. You should have been at the restaurant getting drunk, tipsy, talking shit about your husband, your coworkers, whatever type of group this was. Because if you're with 13 people, you're going to be loud, you're going to be obnoxious, which is fine. Just you're in the wrong environment. You're a fish out of water, if you may. That's a stupid slogan, but you know what I'm saying. What? The problem is also when you go to a coffee shop with 13 people, there's usually no more than 2 baristas there. So by the time the first person in your group orders their coffee, by the time you get through all 13, the first person's already going to be done with their coffee. Or if they're polite and wait for everyone in the group to get their order, their coffee or their cappuccino or Americana or a French Express coffee is going to be cold. It's going to be chill. Or if they get an iced coffee, the ice is going to melt. That's also a side note. I don't get iced coffee because I find it stressful. Because if I don't drink it fast enough, the ice melts, it gets watery. So I feel like it's like an hourglass. And I'm just like, I got to drink this really, really quick. And also the straw is kind of gay. So I like coffee black like a real man. But yeah, 13, the order, everything about this is wrong. But I'll tell you what I love. What I love are the 2 babes who didn't move. I love everything about these. Because what they did is they held the line. Okay? They were under siege, 13-2, outmanned, and they held their ground. The men of Easy Company would love these 2 ladies if any of them are still alive. Because the way I see this, that table, that big table that could sit, I don't know, like 12 to 14 people, that was Bastogne. Those 2 ladies were the men of Easy Company. And you were the German troops. You thought you were the Allies, but no, you're the Axis. You're the evil people. Those 2 were Easy Company. They looked you up and down and they went, nah, we're the 101st Airborne and you ain't gonna do shit. And you know what? You didn't do shit. You ran to Reddit. You let them keep that table and they held the line. Good for them. Good for them. They deserve to give you the stink eye. Fuck you. You're gonna come in a coffee shop and expect everybody to just move out of your way because you got the most manpower or woman power? Nah. That's not how Easy Company rolled through Germany. Was Bastogne in Germany? Or was that France? I think that was in France, but you get the idea. Okay, the 2, they're the Americans. They're real Americans. Give them a medal. Yeah. But because you're beta. You got beta. This was mental warfare. We've all been there where like there's no conversation, and you're right. Like those ladies were giving you the stink eye. They were eyeing you, and they won, and you lost, and that's why you're on Reddit. But the B-Man's here, Verbal Graffiti's here. We're drinking Fiji water because we're hydrated, and I'm here to tell you what you should have done. No, you shouldn't have asked them. They were in the right to stay at the table. But since you're the person who wrote on Reddit, I'm telling you, you're the general. Next time you go to a coffee shop with 13 people, which you should never do, which we've gone over, is all right. You take your ladies, you take 12, and you say, hey, take a knee right now. Listen, ladies, we're at a coffee shop. We're drinking coffee. We're having pastries. You're going to fart a lot. So when you're going to go fart, when you got to let one go, you walk by that table right next to those two men from Easy Company. You lift your leg and you let it rip. You 13 people, 2 hours walking by them, letting them rip. You gas them out. You gas them out of that table. That's what you should have done. You should have rallied the troops. Fart in their face. If you're wearing a skirt, pull it up. Pull it all the way up. Have your thong showing. Lift one leg and just pow. Pow! You just crop dust the fuck out of them till they can't breathe and are forced to leave. That's what you should have done. That's what the B-Man would have done. That's what the people who drink Fiji would have done. Fiji water at $2.25 at your local convenience store. I think we're all in agreement with that, correct? 13 people in the coffee shop? No more than 5. 5 max. Anything more than that, you got to go to a bar or a restaurant. Good on those two ladies. They deserve the same medals that the men from Easy Company got. Can you tell I watch Band of Brothers at least once every 2 years? Let's go to me doing stand-up comedy right now. Even the old broad who was talking about, like, getting fucked in front of the shopping network? She was hot, but you know her house smells like burnt cigarettes. Like that. Sometimes I wonder why I've had no success in life. And then something like the last segment happens where the first thing I say is I am not going to ramble. And then what do? I proceed to ramble for 3.5 minutes before I start the show. So I'm going to be better this segment. Remember, drink Fiji water. Sponsor code BMAN is a loser, and you get 0% off. Let's get to the next one. This one comes from, by the way, if you were wondering why I am looking at my phone when I post them there, it's because I do not have a teleprompter beyond my camera. I'm just kind of a bum, so I have to read it off my phone because I don't have the logistics yet to be able to, be a professional. All right, again, Brian, stop rambling. Get to the actual segment. This one comes from the subreddit Ask a Priest. Am I exempt from fasting? I get migraines when I fast, and that just happened in Ash Wednesday. I have read that people with chronic illnesses like diabetes are exempt from fasting. Am I one of those cases, or the fact that it is only a temporary headache means I'm still in? This is everything that American Catholicism is. It's people, again, this is Ask a Priest, so whatever religion you are, great. I say I'm Catholic, but I'm like this lady, where I just, you say you're Catholic, but you're not willing to do any of the work. Fast one day, fuck off. That's basically what we think. We'll go drink at the bar. For this lady, I'm telling you, I'm looking you in the camera and I'm saying, remember what Jesus did for you? Remember that thing? He sacrificed himself. He made the ultimate sacrifice for you. Remember, the sign of the cross, the name of the Father, the Son, the Holy Spirit, and how they nailed him on that wooden cross as the people in Bethlehem cheered as he bled to death. Was it in Bethlehem? Where was it? Come on. Anyway, it was somewhere outside of New York City where this happened. And remember, he gave his life for you. And now what are you doing? You're asking Jesus, you're like, hey buddy, I have a side-splitting headache. Is it okay if I take this one off and get back to you next year? No, it's not okay for you to have a cheeseburger because you have a migraine headache and it's making you hungry. Jesus made the ultimate sacrifice to forgive you of the sin you were born with. Such an American Catholic here to try to absolve themselves of any sacrifice they have to do. Think about what you're doing. Like, Jesus gave his life at 35 for you, and you're like, dude, is it okay if I have a cheeseburger on this one day? No. Eat some shitty vegan meal like we all do on Fridays, and go to church once a year on Christmas Eve. Because without Jesus, your life wouldn't be what it is right now. Right now, you'd be on your knees sucking the devil's flame-lidden cock for eternity. All right, you know your tonsils? Those tonsils would be flamed. They'd have third-degree burns on them. Instead of gargling Listerine, you'd be gargling like a dragon's flame. I imagine that's what the devil's cum looks like. That's what you were doing without Jesus. So are you absolved from this fasting? No, don't eat the cheeseburger. Lettuce only. Lettuce and wheat bread, not even white bread or Italian bread. If I was a priest, imagine if I was a priest. I did go to catechism and get confirmed, though. But if I was a priest on Ash Wednesday and you came to me with this complaint, what I would do is I would take that ash, whatever, like rounded up charcoal, whatever it is, that gray stuff. I'd wipe it on my two fingers, my index and my middle finger, and I'd go, "Oh, you want a cheeseburger? Boom." Boom, I'd poke your eyes out. I give you Ash Wednesday on your left and your right eye. You want to have that cheeseburger? You could have it, but you're going to have to sacrifice your eyesight for the rest of your living days. Yeah, so you need to repent. Go to church on Sunday. Go on Easter. Go on Christmas Eve. Pretend to know the prayers. Go up, get the... What's the thing with the bread and the wine? Do whatever that is, and stop whining like a little American Catholic. Pull your skirt up, not like up, but up the waist, and be a real Catholic for once in your life. This is Jesus. He made the ultimate sacrifice. Do him a favor. He gave you a favor. Do him a favor. Till next time, drink lots of Fiji water. I love the taste of rich person water. It's so much better than Tap and Dalsani and all those cheap brands. So Fiji water, till next time, go suck a fat one.